So we just unloaded the 805X race bike, and pretty much all we've done is wash it off at this point and put it up here. So we're gonna go into the bike in detail, take it apart, and just check the wear components for any unusual wear or indications of potential failures. And we're gonna take you guys through the disassembly and just an overview of the bike after 500 race miles and about 300 miles of prep on the bike. So we're gonna take off the suspension, and we got Dustin here. He's gonna take it into his guy, and we're gonna try to source some actual Showa components. So we'll take you along for that ride as well.
Startup's been sitting for a week. I don't know what it's doing right now. We're just gonna hope it starts. For a second.
Good. Starting right up. So, one of the failures we had during the race, Dustin put a anti-gravity battery in there. You know, anti-gravity is supposed to be the go-to battery. It may not have been a battery issue. We're running the stock Kove battery that we put in the bike during the race, and we're showing right at 13.6 volts. I kind of have a feeling that the bike was overcharging the battery, or it could have been something to do with the amount of leads we have in here. These are for the Stella.
Yeah, it's the Stella and the light.
And the light.
And the GPS. So Voyager, Stella, GPS.
Okay.
And light.
And the light, we did have an issue with it flickering during the race.
So we figured that out. When we did the battery change, the connector got broke.
Oh, dang. So it was completely disconnected?
Yeah.
Or it was like almost broken?
Yeah, so I think we over-tightened it here.
Okay.
And then it was kind of wedged weird, so it just pulled the connector all apart.
Gotcha.
So I'll take the blame for that.
Yeah.
So for the next race, we'll do a little better job on the connector for the light. Sorry, Mark.
So my suggestion would be to implement some kind of junction box so that they're all running independently, and then there are independent little LEDs that if it does trip one of the fuses,
Okay.
and I mean, yeah, it's something else to find a place for on the bike. And we may have found the first potential issue. We're gonna try to diagnose it, but so my bike is averaging 13.6 volts. So the only other difference we have right now is that we hooked up one of these Takamoto capacitors in case the battery went out, because that's what happened in the San Felipe 250. It was the bike died and it wouldn't run again. So the whole idea was, if the battery was to go out, as long as we kept the bike running and the capacitor. So we got the battery hooked up just to a voltmeter, and we're showing 14.7 volts. I think that seems a little high. Should be more around like 14.2, 14.3.
factory fill. It's got 1,000 miles on it.
Break-in oil coming out now.
Yeah. Get a little bit for the sample gods.
Pretty dark.
Yeah,
To be expected.
dark. There's a little bit of gunk on the plug. Take a look at that one.
Let's see that plug there. Focus. Looks like it, but I mean, it's the break-in. We'll show you what's on the rag here in a second.
Kind of looks like
Just clutch material.
yeah, it's just clutch material mostly. Yeah, it's all clutch material. There's no.
It's just common. I mean,
Yeah, it's a brand new
mean,
bike.
most people wouldn't go race it in Baja with
Yeah,
the
most
break-in
people aren't
oil.
gonna go buy a bike and just go race the Baja 500 for no goddamn reason. Alright, yeah. Nothing out of all the torque marks are still lined up and everything. Like, nothing came fucking loose.
A little bit of oil, a little bit of metal. That's
There's some, I'd say normal wear and tear shavings.
yeah,
There's no chunks.
just glitter.
Yeah, it's glitter. Not bad for the first filter change, really. Like, I've seen way worse in other bikes. Street legal. Might have to unweight the wheel a little bit.
No grease whatsoever. Dry as a fucking bone. No grease. Zero grease. It's not confidence inspiring.
Now, what do you think?
These should drop and then just the shot. Is that the same size? No way. Dry as a bone, dude. What in the fudge? Thank goodness there's no water. Yeah.
Luckily we didn't submerge anything. Yeah, that's enough fucking issues.
Oh.
I'm tipsy. All right, there's your first quart.
Then you took out how much?
About 8 ounces.
So yeah, right at 1.5.
Because her fork stills are always leaking and there's always black marks on it.
Luckily these have not leaked at all. But when you get in there, I'd like to know how. Alright, so we got the 805 Kove 450 broken down. Ready to set up for the next race. So Got the suspension off, and we're gonna be taking it to a local suspension guru, KTM Tom, and they're gonna try to source some Showa factory components and see what the internals and whatnot look like. We are also talking about getting a cool 805 custom graphics kit put on the bike. We need to figure out why this bike is overcharging. It's sitting right at about 14.6 volts when the bike's running. And if you look at the battery itself, it says do not charge over 14.2 volts. So that is an issue right there that we're gonna have to figure out. We did drop the oil, and it was still the break-in oil. He was still running the break-in oil on this bike, which is kind of insane. But it looked okay. Minimal amount of just break-in slivers. We'll roll in some little shots of the paper filter that we cut open, and the magnet and the wire screens. Nothing too big or to be concerned. And I think based on other Kove owners and oil changes, we should see less and less oil, or less and less metal flakes in there in subsequent oil changes. We're going to remove the ABS stuff just completely. And even though this is the Standard Pro, which Standard Pro comes with the race ECU, comes with the race exhaust, comes with the taller windshield, some different graphics. That's about it. But it still comes with the ABS stuff. So we're gonna remove the ABS rings. We're gonna remove the entire ABS components and pump, because both the front and rear brakes are coming to this unit first before going to the calipers. So we're just gonna remove this, and that's gotta be at least 3 or 4 pounds that we're gonna get rid of. And we're gonna run the brake line straight to the master cylinder. And then with the front, we're gonna try to, in working with KTM Tom and some suspension stuff, we're gonna try to source Showa stuff and possibly run a KTM front wheel with Brembo front brake, or maybe a Nissan and Honda front stuff. That's to be determined. So we're trying to figure that all out right now. And yeah, so I think that's it. You know, if I think of anything else here in a second, we'll cut back in. But we're also gonna get a Dirt Tricks rear sprocket. May even go up 1 tooth from the 51, go to a 52 tooth. If that's the case, we need a longer chain, because these bikes run much more stable when you can run it further back in the block. So we'll need a, we're gonna be looking at the suspension wishbone back here. It looks very similar to some KTM stuff, and Dustin has different length wishbones, so we can adjust how the rear end is sitting on this bike. So yeah, we got some stuff to figure out, but luckily we have 3 months to do it. And yeah, you guys will see this bike at the Baja 400, and it'll be prepped much better than it was for the 500. And that's no fault of Dustin's. It's a brand new platform to him. And yeah, it's just taking some figuring out and working through the kinks. And the whole idea behind this bike and Dustin's grand plan is to improve this platform down in Baja, and in conjunction with or solo, I don't know, I have to talk to Dustin, but he's working with Bo from Ready to Ride Rentals, who's also one of our major sponsors, to make this just an ultimate Baja platform with 8 gallons of fuel, 6-speed transmission, full fairing wind protection, ultra smooth, and what we're out to prove is its bulletproofness. And what's not bulletproof, we're going to work on and improve so that this is in the end a ultimate Baja bike. So come along for the ride, guys. Thanks for watching.